Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot card. These are your Daily Tarot cards for Wednesday, June the 7th, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Sacred Rose Tarot cards. So we start off with the Queen of Wands and we have the Queen of Pentacles. We're getting a lot of duality in here. And I feel like this is yourself. You follow your intuition, and the Queen of Pentacles, you're a provider. When you sit there and you get financial gain, you share with others. You know? This could be you supporting your family. This duality, this two of cups. This could be you in an equal partnership with your partner. You know, God bless. This could be your children. I feel like this is why, we were talking about being hard on ourselves as parents, following your intuition. I feel like a lot of us are pissed off in this full moon energy, and thank God for other healers on TikTok because, oh my, I should have got his name. But he came on, and sometimes his messages don't resonate with me, so I just skip over a couple of times, until they resonate again with me. But he definitely was like right on point. He was just like, you feel pissed off. Why we haven't reached these goals, obtained these things, And I'm just like, it's kind of like when I was sitting there reminiscing about my kids. Like my son was born early, you know what I mean? But he's very mature. My other son, they had to go in and get him. So I feel like he's a late bloomer because he was late. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's, every child is different. You know what I mean? So I feel like you could be like, following your intuition. You are a provider. You know what I mean? I feel like kind of grounding yourself in that energy. You know what I mean? It's like, why haven't these things happen? Well, they're showing the Chariot with determination and dedication. 6 of Wands. You will be the victor wearing the wreath. We don't understand what the universe's timeline is. Like I was speaking about this with someone else about karma. I'm like, at my worst moment in my life after Shane passed, there are these people, these vultures that kicked me in my head and made things so much more worse and didn't have to, but chose to do these things. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep quiet, let the universe deal with it. And they did. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you keep pushing forward. You keep carrying forward. You know what I mean? Like if you're like myself and you're, the Two of Cups is your children, Gemini energy. My son is a Gemini. It's like, you know what I mean? Like duality in that sense because my kids are like twins. They're always together since they were, they're 25 months apart. So it's just like, I feel like that's what they're saying. Like, this is what you're working hard for. You know what I mean? Maybe this is your partnership. You're working hard for your partnership. Maybe you know what I mean? The goals and everything we want to wish for. It's like, a cycle is ending and we're coming into a more prosperous one. You know what I mean? That lack of, it's like, why isn't there more? Like, I was literally talking about that. It's like, where is, the financial reward in this? Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, I don't have to worry about these things anymore. And I keep telling myself, like, I did it when I moved out on my own. I built a life for myself. When me and Shane got together, we built this magnificent, like, because we worked really hard to get to that point. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'll do it again. I'm determined. Ace of Wands, this brand new rebirth in our life. You know what I mean? And I feel like, like this Hangman. That's why it's so important to follow multiple healers, because where things make sense, someone is able to put that puzzle piece in. Thank God that, I was posting the hummingbird. I was able to get it to post because it was saying that didn't like the resolution of it. So I tried a different way and it posted it. And it was just like, I came across him. I'm like, something just told me he had did his nails. You know what I mean? And he, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let's watch. Like, I haven't seen him do his nails. So I'm like, let's watch what he has to say. And it totally resonated. You know what I mean? He was just like, do you feel pissed off lately? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, there's only so many hours in the day and I want to accomplish so many things. And, I was just talking to my son about that. Like, I'm not so readily, easily available to, my tribe anymore, where it's just like, can you pull some cards? And it's like, yeah. But it's like, now it's like, I have to sit there and, have a more structured discipline because, I have to dedicate 8.5 hours to what brings in the bread and butter right now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel bad for that, but you know what I mean? So it's just like, making those choices in life, and like I said, there's only so many hours in the day. Thank God the tribe is understanding, and they know that I mean well, We go to the Two of Pentacles, this yin and yang, this, ebb and flow. I definitely was getting like, waves of water. It's like these ebbs and flows in life, But I definitely feel like we're coming through a flow. I feel like we get positive confirmation of that with the Ten of Cups. Unconditional love, talking about how blessed we are more than just beyond pentacles. Like, if you have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on your table, we're complaining about first world problems. But it's just like at the end of the day, it's like, we know what we put into things. We're not laying in bed saying, why didn't this happen? No. We're up. We're doing the work. Instead of complaining, it's like we're sitting there putting that energy into the things that we want to grow. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about that yesterday. Putting your energy into things that you want to grow. I feel like that's so deep. They're showing me the deck they want me to pull from tomorrow, but tomorrow's Throne Thursday. But I'll pull from it Friday. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Like that's where that 10 of Cups comes in. Unconditional love, happy, content couple if God bless you in a relationship. Happy children, happy home life, like everything. And I feel like that's where I love the fact that he posted that. It's just like they are coming. I was saying to the universe, are these things coming? Am I delusional? You know what I mean? Like, like when we people see like the 7 of Cups as a delusion. I feel like the reverse is a delusion. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a determined person. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's why it's like, wherever I get an opportunity to sit there and, get myself as a healer out there, I'm doing it, as long as it's in a way that I want to be presented. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, oh, I'm going to promote this just because it gets my face out there. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, if I feel drawn to it and I should, intrigued and, piques my, my curiosity and it sounds like it's a good fit, fine. But, if it's not, I'm always going to put the tribe first. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to forget that, I feel like, this leader energy comes in with the Queen of Wands. I feel like a lot of people see you as quote unquote as the mother in the group. They can come to you for guidance. And I feel like they're like, don't underestimate the power of that. But like, we can't sit there and be for everybody when they want us to be, especially when you're in my kind of situation where it's just like, you got to balance both. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could be there like I was before cough cough happened, but it's just like, it's just the world is transformed. And I feel like that's why they purposely did that, to get people, we're going to knock out your income. So you're forced to come to this, but it's just a phase. You know what I mean? And that's why I posted that card. I should start like doing a green screen with it, but I feel like it's just like that phase. This emotional phase, like, I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears into something that I truly believe in. You know what I mean? And I do it for my kids, I want to, like, like kind of like Steve Harvey. I work 4 to 5 jobs so my kids don't have to. I get these connections. I get, I do these things so my kids I can sit there and bring those opportunities to my kids. They don't have to do all the things I did, live in their car and all this stuff, because I lived those experiences so my kids don't have to. I love that kind of energy. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just like, they're saying like you are the Queen of Pentacles, that nurturer, with knowledge, comforter. You are that Queen of Pentacles where, Queen of Wands, but then you're also the Queen of Pentacles where as your money helps others. And I feel like that's why the universe blesses you. I feel like equally giving from the cup, we have, the fire and earth pouring equally, but Capricorn, for me, Capricorn triggers me in a negative way. You know what I mean? And it's just like that part of me that's like, you got to get this done and you have these things to get done. It's like, okay, there's only so many hours in a day though. I can only do so many things, I got to give 100% of myself into everything I do, not just what serves me. You know what I mean? So Queen of Wands, the Queen sits dressed in red. Communication. Upon a wand throne, she wears silver jewelry denoting lunar influences. Lunar, so shadow sides. Her jewelries bear the emblems of fire and the triangle. In her right hand bears the emblem of fire, and and in her left a red rose. Both symbol the action through sacrifice. So we sacrifice our time away from our loved ones to better their life. We sacrifice our time to be social, to grow things that we want in our life. We are sacrificing things in our life so that way things can be better. The card signifies a person who inspires us in a positive direction. So that's what they're saying. Like, when you read the Queen of Wands in a traditional tarot sense, it's like, she's saying as charismatic and joyful, and she lights up a room and people can count on her. And that's why I feel like that leadership role. I feel as healers, we have that responsibility to be that light in the world. Not to sit there. Yes, it's a great blessing that we are able to be paid for what we love. You know what I mean? But do it sensibly so that way you're able to spread that light to many others, not just a fixed sum that can afford it. Everybody needs that light. He or she is warm, affectionate, charming, and also authoritative, determined. This person may be a patron or patroness of the arts. One should take the virtues of this person to be inspired to do so. And that's what I mean. It's like a lot of people will come to you because they know that you will give them sound ground advice. You know what I mean? If you're like myself, where you have to, you would love to take that 8.5 hours you put into this and put it into healing. But it's like, unfortunately, sometimes life cycles, that's why I love that card that I posted. It's like, it's a phase. You know what I mean? Don't let this phase determine the rest of your life. Because I'm like to Spirit, I'm like, is this just an illusion? You know what I mean? Like, should I just give this up and, put all my energy into this other thing, But it's like that my heart isn't there. We got to be truthful with ourselves. We come to the Queen of Pentacles, and I feel like this is where the universe blesses you and you bless many others. The Queen sits upon a throne of green leaves. So we get both of them sitting down. So patient. You know what I mean? And I feel like, also patient as you do with others. You know what I mean? I feel like people should be more patient with us as well. You know what I mean? People are very demanding on our time and our energy, and they don't understand. Like, we need to replenish. You know what I mean? She symbolizes the office of proudly. Excuse me. And her left hand is a golden rose of absolution and achievement, and her right is a pentacle. Her crown is gold cube. Her jewels is silver. The queen represents a spiritual made material. The card represents a noble, warm-hearted soul, a tower of strength, and all of the attributes desired, and a wife and mother. So, they definitely mirror each other, and I feel like this is, it doesn't matter. He, she, they, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that what you identify doesn't matter. I'm just saying, in this sense, that they're representing here is a part of yourself that is the nurturer. And I feel like that's what they're saying with the white rose, nobility. The fact that you do this, you sit there, like Steve Harvey has a lot of these attributes where it's like he did so his children wouldn't have to. He made all those connections so his child, his one son wanted to be a director, a producer. He had a show. His son is the director and producer of that. He obviously had people that guided him and nurtured him and taught him. But he made sure it was people that have patience with his child like he would. You know what I mean? It's a teachable moment. You know what I mean? And hopefully his children, and I'm sure they do, are thankful for their father's sacrifice. The fact that, yes, it's time away from the kids. It's time away from the grandkids. I don't know if he has grandkids, but it's time away from the family. But do you see where I'm putting my things in? To positive things. He could go out, be a dog, and be with this one and that one. A lot of them say, why are you going out buying these big chains, these big fancy cars, invested in real estate, invested in a building, so you have a constant income coming in all the time? You know what I mean? It's like, stop trying to live up to an image that nobody cares about at the end of the day. Once you lose all those things, nobody cares. A happy marriage or partnership is denoted. You know what I mean? So they're highlighting you that you are you are an ideal partner. That you care so much about your partner that these attributes that you have, you share with them. It's not just about you. It's about everybody as a collective. They say in spiritual books that a partner that is like this is worth more than gold and silver because they will do everything they can to build up their house. Nothing is worse than someone that tears down your home. So are you doing this for your partner? Are you doing this for your children? This duality, this Gemini energy pouring equally into one cup. This could be you in a partnership saying we equally pour into this cup, one fire, one earth, or just highlighting this is what they bring to the table, this is what they bring to the table, equally pouring into each other. Or are you is this both part of yourself that you're equally giving into, people in your life? So we love this with the Two of Cups. Love. A man and a woman stand side by side, each holding flowing cups, overflowing cups. This card signifies emotional partnership based on feelings or friendship, cooperation, understanding, incube the situation. So you know what I mean? It's like we come into this wholeheartedly to build this foundation. We're building on this. A lot of people start as friendships, me and Shane didn't start off on the best foot. He thought, because of his experience where we worked, he thought we were being mean to him or making fun of him or mocking him or setting him up for, like a good laugh, at his expense. And then he realized, like, oh, like, she genuinely does like me. She genuinely was inviting me to the wedding. And, she isn't out to hurt me. She cares, So it's just like, from there, it just took off like as soon as he let his guard down, everything just skyrocketed, So it's just like, you know what I mean? We always have this guard up from past experiences, but it could be someone that is, everyone keeps saying there's someone coming in that's going to profess their feelings for you as a friend or as a potential partner, as a lover. You know what I mean? Is this going to be a temptation? We had the triangle. They were talking about an affair, or is this someone just saying like, you know what? Like even one of my friends said that they're like, you know what? Even though I'm leaving, I really resonate with you, and I hope we're continue to be friends. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, I always tell everybody that I'm in your life until you tell me to f off. Ace of Wands. A strong, forceful hand shoots out of the center of red roses, holding a powerful wand of fiery energy, bravery, courage, strength, resilience. That chariot energy. We go into that zodiac sign Cancer. They're hard, determined workers. And it's like, this is why you will succeed. I love the fact that I was able to see that reading with him because, like, I'm on time crunch right now. But it's just like the fact that, it's just like, oh, he got his nails done. Let's see what he has to say today. I know he's putting makeup more and more on, but I didn't see that he had his nails done. And I was just like, oh, I love him, and I was just watching him shuffle. I'm like, hey, I got a couple of minutes to spare. Let's see, like, what he has to say. And, he's like, do you feel angry? I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, the male aspect of nature is shown as as its majesty. Creative virtues, physical action are intended. Leadership potential comes from self-sacrifice. So there we go, self-sacrifice. You sacrifice your time. You know what I mean? We could be out partying. We could be watching TV shows. We could, there's always a choice on how our life evolves every single moment of every single day. I could crawl up into a ball and let, the passing of Shane eat me up, and like, that's it. I could sit there and live off the government and let them, carry me through because, I could go on disability. I'd rather sit there and sacrifice and work hard and build this foundation for my children. And, if they choose to have children of their own, grandchildren, you know what I mean? Or even 3 generations in, so they don't have to go through what me and Shane did. We built this pillar for them. We built this foundation for them, so that way they don't have to go through what we went through. This card is of power and achievement. Sacrifice is required to produce creativity. It is. You can't sit there and stay in your bed and feel sorry for yourself, you know what I mean? And be like, why is nothing happening? Because you got to get out and get it. Christy... Oh my gosh, I always forget. I think it's Howard, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, I always mess up her name. She even says the same thing. She suffers from mental illness. We all do. Not diminishing what she's going through. But I'm just saying, like, she chooses, How did she get these things? Because she worked hard for it. She reached out to people. Hey, I do this and that. She tags them in her videos. You know what I mean? She is determined to reach a certain precipice in her life. She loves what even though she says she hates it. The love-hate relationship, She sits there and, puts her... That's why I love her so much, is her energy. You know what I mean? And her truthfulness. It's the fact that, like, yeah, I'm having a cruddy day. And I'm like, yeah. And we can't say that as in a society because we get judged for it, I'm having a mentally hard day. I'm so sick and tired of freaking working as many hours as I do every single day. I see changes happening, but it's just like, can I have a financial windfall, please? With no harm to none. I don't want no harm happening to... It's like you speak out of frustration. You know what I mean? And it's just like, obviously we got to be careful with our words. You know what I mean? But it's just like, can we have some sort of help, please? you know, where I can breathe. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is a huge blessing. You know what I mean? But it's just like, can that, those 8.5 hours switch over to healing, please? Where I can be, be exactly where I need to be. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm working towards. You know what I mean? So it's just like, but I'm still giving my 8.5 hours that I work at the other place my 110%. You know what I mean? Even when I'm sick as a dog, I even come on here and I go there. It's just because I know that's where my income comes in and it affects my kids. So I give 110% because I'm like, I'm an asset. You know, some people may overlook that and don't think that. That's fine. Others see it, and I guess like it took this journey or the cycle that we're in right now for me to see that others see, even though that, maybe that's their way of, I guess, inspiring people or driving people. I don't know. But it's like, it don't work. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're not inspiring anybody, but it's just like, it took other people to be like, no, this is how we see you. And I'm like, wow, okay, thank you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you're going to have people in your life, even when you reach your goals, they're still going to say, oh, you're full of this. You're always going to have people saying those things. But as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're enjoying life, embrace that Gemini, Peter Pan energy, never going to grow up. Do what you love. So with the Hangman, changing our perspective, and like soon, like I swear to you, I was like, changing our perspective, crown energy, and I saw him, and it's just like, boom, it hit me, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're frustrated because it's gonna happen, sitting there, and it's like, like not questioning like the universe, like, you know what I mean, but just saying like, am I delusional here? Like, like what's going on here? So defeat as the result of selfishness, false values, lack of security, pain, falseness. So some people may feel this. That's why I read the definitions. For me, I feel like it's changing our perspective. I feel like I'm being hung by my foot. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I see things changing, but I'm like, can I have the financial side of it as well? Like, I'm not buying myself treats or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, how does it, you know what I mean? This triple tax on groceries and, even my hydro bill is like, I'm doing everything possible to keep it down. Like, usually my bill is so low right now, and it's like, because they've added another tax on it, it's like, I can't get it below $100. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, I know the pump is going, so it's just like that one thing, but they don't realize, getting hit here, there, and everywhere, how it adds up. They're like, oh, well, you could cut off your Netflix. You could cut down your quality of life. That's what they say to us. Cut down and it's like, I sit there and I'm like, okay, like, let's cut off, like, the cable. You know what I mean? And I'll just have internet and a home phone. Oh, that's the same price as having all three. How the hell does that make sense? You're sitting there trying to sit there, like they said, sacrifice. You know what I mean? So you can have a little bit more money for like food and like fun for the kids. And it's just like, oh, nope, sorry. It's the same amount. But we have to charge you this amount because we say so. It's like, okie dokie. Need the internet for everything. Can't cut out the internet. So Two of Pentacles, harmony. Thank the Lord. And I feel like this ebb and flow cycle, I felt like waves. You know what I mean? And I feel like the flow, like a pentacle where it's like you don't have to worry about money. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, can we just get a clean slate? Like, can we just have something that comes in that cleans that slate? And it's like, I don't have to think about it no more. A man and a woman lean against each other for support. And I feel like this is, again, where Spirit is like, you can rely on us. You can lean on us. Do your salt and cinnamon ceremonies if it resonates with you. Sit there, like, I want to vacuum. But it's just like, do the things that, like I said, you sit there, you're an influencer, make your videos. You know what I mean? If you're at work, it's like, work hard so that way they see you as an asset. You know what I mean? You're doing everything you can to sit there and be a team player. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, even if that is not your dream job, still be a team player. Still put 110% in it, because at the end of the day, it still pays your bills, for the time being. And it's just like, you know what I mean? That's why even when I'm dead tired, like now I feel rejuvenized because I had some food, but it's just like, sit there and put your time and energy into things in a positive way. You know what I mean? Is it your dream job? No. But it's just like, you know what? I'm going to freaking work the living crud out of it. I'm going to sit there and do 110%, even when I don't feel like 110%. I could feel like a wet, dirty dishcloth, and I was like, I'm still showing up. I resonated with my trainer. She's like, I've only missed one day in 6 years. And I'm like, you are someone I look up to. She started laughing. And I'm like, I haven't missed any time either. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like freaking Darth Vader with a blanket over my head and a heating pad on my back. And I'm working. She goes, same. And I'm like, right? I'm like, if I can sit up in my bed and watch TikTok or Facebook, I can work. You know, as long as I have a voice, you know what I mean? I will work. If I get to a point where I can't, then I will obviously throw in the towel. But it's just like, you know what I mean? That's where my bread and butter. That's what supports my kids. I miss an hour. I miss 15 minutes. I miss 30 minutes. That's money out of my kid's pocket. You know what I mean? So it's just like, may not like it, but that's life. Each holds a pentacle, which is an eventual energy of flow, illustrates as a figure 8. So we're getting that like infinity symbol, that flow, a lot of, in here, especially with the duality. Change, new projects require harmonious energies, mood swings that threaten the stability of projects. And that's what I was saying. Like, this is like, I love this moon cycle. Like, that's when I posted that card. Like, I think I'm going to start doing green screens. And I was just like, I feel like this is just a cycle. I feel like it's like a bump in the road. It's just like, Capricorn affects me in a bad way. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, ground myself, meditation. I haven't done a meditation, but I've been doing a chakra, like energy plucking with Ella on TikTok. But it's like, I need to meditate. I need to, center my chakras again. It's just, I just haven't had time, and, it's just like, sitting there and it's like taking time out for yourself as well. I did have time. I'm not going to lie. I was watching better, but I was doing the console. So don't want to push it too much, but I feel like that's what they're saying. Like, sit there and like, yeah, the vacuuming doesn't get done. It's okay. You can do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just like, watch how hard you ride yourself. We are like in that energy of perfectionism. And it's just like, life is not perfect. So 10 of Cups is our last card. So success. 2 hands offer joy. The 4 sacred roses illuminate the night sky in red, blue, gold, and white. This card of emotional completion and integration and subsequent gifts. Ooh, I love that. So gifts, 10 gifts. That would be nice, eh? It's kind of like what is it called? 12 Days of Christmas or something like that? Isn't that what it's called? The 12 Days of Christmas my true love gave to me. What is it called? And they're giving your gifts and all that. Just pay off my debt. I'll love you forever. You know what I mean? But I feel like, with this, it's like also emotional healing in a lot of sense. Like, there is trauma around my son's birthday where the fact that it's not like his birth wasn't bad. It was just, you know what I mean? He was born early. My older son ended up headbutting my stomach, ripped my placenta, and I ended up giving birth before I was supposed to. And he was in the NICU. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you never get over that. All I did was bawl my eyes out for like every time I had to leave him in the NICU. But it's just, it doesn't get easier. You know what I mean? And then in 2018, poor baby had to have his appendix out and it was infected. So it's just like, I was like crying a lot. And then they came out with the trailer for Bones of Crows, I think it was called. It was at TIFF. And I'm just like bawling my eyes out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to watch the movie. But it's just like, you know what I mean? I was so happy. Like, it was his birthday and celebrating. We laughed for hours. Like, it was really early in the morning. And I'm like, okay, before I go to bed, let me blow up his balloons for him. Like, I thought he was going to go upstairs, but he stayed downstairs. And he was making all these stupid photos and stuff like that. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like you have, like, you'll never get that time back. You know what I mean? I'm like, he's like, can I stay downstairs? I'm like, okay. And he's like, do you know what you're doing? Because I bought a helium tank. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I used to work at a dollar store. He starts laughing at me. He's like, what job haven't you had? You know what I mean? I'm just like, pretty much all of them, Spiritual treasures, peace of mind and present. An emotional growth cycle is completed. A good life is in store. One thing that really resonated with me with Tina Turner is the fact that she's like, God rest her soul. They were showing an interview that her and Cher did with Oprah. And Tina was just like, I love getting older because life keeps getting sweeter, because she had such a tragic uh, journey to get to that point where she found this unlimited happiness, you know, and that really resonated with me. And I'm like, as I get older, life is getting sweeter. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, you know, it's on my terms of the fact of like, you know, how I raise my kids, and my kids are happy and healthy, and we're blessed with Sunny. And it's just like, you know, I know we've outgrown this situation, but, you know, with the two queens sitting down, it's like, have patience. You know, we see what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're frustrated like myself, it's like the universe sees what you're doing. You know, look at the greenery around the Queen of Pentacles, you know, heart chakra, Venus, unconditional love. The universe sees what you're doing. They see that, like, you know, like with, and this is not to gloat or anything, like, not even gloat, but if you're a fellow Canadian, or if you donate to the Red Cross, you know, tragically, Halifax has had probably one of the worst years in history with forest fires, and so many people are displaced. A lot of people can't afford renters insurance. A lot of homeowners can't get renters insurance because they use a furnace to heat their home because electricity is too expensive in the winter. So it's just like, you know, if you can give $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever you can give, you know, donate it to them so to help these displaced families. Like, honestly, you know what I mean? I feel like that's where, like, you know, the universe sees what we do. You know what I mean? And it's just like, we don't want accolades. We don't want awards. We don't want to be shout out to the rooftops or anything like that. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we know how it feels to be in those shoes, unfortunately, for some of us. It's like, you know, we've gone through tragic situations. You know what I mean? So it's like helping out others, you know? So definitely, if you're able to, you know, especially as a fellow Canadian, that's what we do. We help out each other. That's what I love about Canadians, that the fellowship. It's just like, someone's going through something, how can we help? You know what I mean? You know, one of the good parts of us, you know? But it's just like, I feel like if you're like myself, that frustration, I feel like Tina Turner said, things are going to shift. You know, like Tina said, you know, she sat there and she's just like, you know, she worked and worked and worked, you know, for 2 years solid. She toured and toured and toured, and, you know, everything just exploded for her. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's where it's just like, universe is like, it will come. You know, things are shifting in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just keep putting your energy into those things. You know, like I said, like, you know, maybe you're like myself. You know, I was babysitting. I love babysitting, but the money wasn't there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, it doesn't matter what it is that you do. You know what I mean? It's not your dream job, but you know what? You give it 110%. You know, and it will, you never know. People, places, and things can shift, you know? So keep working your butt off. You're going to get to where you need to be. You know, I feel like this energy was just, it was just like, get this done and get that done. And it's just like, whoa, like, calm down. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like, kind of like, well, it'll get done, you know? But it's like, that's where you need to ground yourself, you know? That's why they're saying it's just a phase. You know, that Capricorn energy, make a list, get it done, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you're like myself, there's only so many hours in a day, you know? And I am not afraid to take out a couple minutes to woos out, you know? It'll get done, you know? So you got to just, you know, learn to love yourself as much as you love others. As much as you're the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, you're that nurturer to others, you got to nurture yourself as well, you know? I feel like, you know, in my case, I'm very lucky that my kids pour equally onto me, you know? They sit there, what do you need to get done? Can I help you with this? You know, sit there, let's have a laugh, you know? It's just like, you know, appreciate those people that sit there and fill your cup. You know, appreciate the universe as they fill your cup, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Wednesday, June the 7th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.